So we'll do this now. I kind of want to look at the old Footsie Handbook that was written a long time ago. I don't know if you guys have ever seen this thing right here. Footsie Handbook. This thing right here, bro. I read this like 2010. I read this thing like 14 years ago when I was learning how to play Street Fighter during Street Fighter 4. I haven't really gone over it since then. I've glanced at it, you know, back throughout Street Fighter 4. Like I remember reading through it and it was really interesting. And a lot of things they made sense. And they kind of helped me understand the game at a higher level. I haven't seen it in a while. I want to see if it actually holds up. Because they do show a lot of examples from old fighting games. Like how well do these things hold up in Street Fighter 6? Who's familiar with this? Because this, for me, when I was learning fighting games, this shit, it helped out a bunch. So the Footsie's Handbook, what it is it's trying to explain footsies, right? And footsies, as we know, it's really abstract because there's a lot of variables, there's a lot of different scenarios. Like fighting games are dynamic, and understanding these scenarios and what your options are like critical. And since footsies it's between two sentient beings, two humans, like we can boil it down to a simple rock paper scissors, but it's much deeper than that. So I really love the way they explain footsies here, and I want to see if these examples are still relevant. I like how they explain footsies as like the ultimate goal is to control the flow of the match, bait the opponent to committing errors, and punish everything. That's technically true, right? That's really accurate. Like footsies is really just all about space control and baiting mistakes from your opponent, aka baiting a whiff, baiting a jump, baiting something, baiting a driver, baiting an action so you can punish it. I mean, obviously you're not going to punish drivers if it's DJ doing it, but you know what I mean. But this dude talks about like OGs. He talks about like Valle, Choi, Watson. Like there's some OGs listed in this thing, and it's divided into different segments too, different chapters. Yeah, this is a long read. I'll link it for you guys if you haven't read this yet, because this thing is absolute gold. A lot of people make the mistake assuming Footsie is something you can whip up on the fly, so you can do it. Well, freestyle Footsie soon. Okay. Footsies as a whole is such a dynamic, complex subject that's impossible to convey or grasp at once. That's kind of what I've been saying, right? It's very dynamic collection of situations and try to come up with elemental solutions to each scenario. Okay, so different elements of footsies. I remember like the examples they'd use are links to videos that are like 144p resolution, fucking Razer flip phone camera resolution, momentarily step into your opponent's poke range and quickly back out instead of attacking. This is footsies 101. So aka, yeah, whiff punishing, right? I mean, that absolutely applies in Street Fighter 6. I mean, you guys fucking see me do it all the time. I mean, a lot of times when I step into your opponent's poke range, I actually just get clipped low. But, you know, it is what it is. Let's see, what fucking example do they have for it? Holy shit. Are you telling me that, bro, someone recorded this with a fucking smart fridge? What is this shit? Footsies and hyper fighting? Is this footsies, guys? Doesn't this look prehistoric? Looks like I'm in a museum. It feels like I'm in a museum right now, bro. Like, you know how in school you're reading about how cavemen communicated with each other? Like, I kind of feel like I'm getting a glimpse of that. Okay, so this is trying to demonstrate whiff punishing? What the fuck is he whiff punishing? Oh, the DP? Oh yeah, if you guys didn't know, Street Fighter 2, DPs were safe, bro. This DP is safe. It's actually like an invincible poke that's safe. How busted is that? You don't walk up and block it to punish it. You have to force it to whiff, and then you get a little dinky punish. Crazy. DP characters in this game are something else. Alright, so he's just talking about whiff punishing. That makes sense. I mean, obviously still very present in Street Fighter 6. To remember which of your combos and attack strings position your opponents barely outside of their effective reversal range, especially when facing characters with greater mobility. Make yourself appear falsely vulnerable. Huh? I mean, I guess they're talking about spacing traps. Yeah, spacing traps are very common in Street Fighter 6. What is this example though? Bro, John Choi versus Valle. Damn, bro. It's crazy. This was just 12 years ago. 12 years ago, and this is the quality. Where's the spacing trap? That was a spacing trap. Sure. I mean, that, I guess we can use that as a spacing trap. Example. Damn, this looks archaic. But yeah, if they're talking about spacing traps, that's very present in Street Fighter 6. Once you've established a pattern of poking consistently at a certain range, use your opponent's hesitation to walk up and throw them. Oh, walk up throws and footsies. So this element is really interesting because this, for me, this is like peak Footsies. Being able to walk up throw your opponent. Because if you're walking up to your opponent's face and throwing them, bro, you've had to do some serious conditioning. Like that means you have a hard read that they aren't gonna press shit. They're not gonna move anywhere. They're just gonna stand still. They're gonna sit still because they're that scared. You have whiff punished everything they've done. You've clipped them low. Like, they are hard conditioned. You see it at a high level. You see Punk is probably the best at doing that. Like, he's the best at literally just walking up to your face and throwing you because you're just terrified of pressing buttons because you know he's gonna whiff punish you. So what example are they giving us? Bucktooth versus, god damn, I haven't heard these names in a while. 16 years ago, bro. John Choi, low-key best footsies. He was a generational talent, bro. This man's footsies were on another stratosphere. His footsies, his fireball game, like his fundamentals. John Choi is like Mr. Fundamentals. I don't think I've ever seen anybody with like better fundamentals for a long time. Obviously, like outside of like Punk coming in to the scene, like John Choi was that guy. He was the fucking fundamentals legend. Damn, look at, that's a button right there. That's an East Coast button. Okay, I see. They're trying to highlight the walk up throw. Barely doing anything, just pressing like 2 buttons. But like the whole theory behind doing this walk up for a throw is that you're forcing an action from your opponent. Like if you have them super conditioned to not press anything and you start walking up throw, now they have to press. As soon as they start seeing you walk up, you're threatening that walk up throw, so they have to press. So now it becomes a little mini game. Like, am I gonna walk up throw or am I gonna walk up and walk back and fucking whiff punish you? But yeah, this is obviously very present in Street Fighter 6. Very present in Street Fighter 6, still very relevant. Like these, like it might make you think that like OGs have an advantage because like footsies haven't changed, right? Just the pure act of baiting opponents' actions with movement and being able to punish them, that hasn't changed. That's been around for, Christ, bro, fucking 30 years. So that's why, like, when you play against OGs, they usually have like super clean, neutral. I mean, they're not gonna react to DI and shit. They're just gonna lose. But you know, if you start squaring up in footsies, they can hold their own. All these plays are universally applicable to any fighting game. That's why footsies and zoning are considered fundamentals. That's true. That is true. Like these sort of situations, scenarios, like elements, they are very universal. That's why you could, you know, get good at one fighting game and actually transfer over to another one. Obviously 2D, like in 3D, there's more things to keep in mind, and they're different, right? So I'll try hiding behind the table.
Rookie stop, slow forward.
Oh,
Dookie
gross,
is using
bro.
the table. That's fantastic. I said watch out for that.
That's so crazy. That's so fucked up. Having this stage, you literally cover your buttons and your sprite. Those are real footsies. When OGs tell you about real footsies, this is what they mean. When your opponent is looking to punish your standard pokes, try whiffing a crouching light kick a few pixels out of their sweep range. If they make a mistake a first lower attack, they'll leave themselves open when their counter attack misses. Okay, this is also very common too. This is also very relevant. Like if your opponent is twitchy, like they have twitchy reactions in footsie range, like you can bait them out. This is still very relevant. Like walk up, like, you know, crouch jab or crouch light kick, and they're twitching, they see the animation, they think it's a crouching medium kick or something, they go for a whiff punish, and you could actually like whiff punish their whiff punish. Bro, what is this quality, man? Damn, times have changed, huh? Yep, this is footsies. Absolute footsies. VHS. We're actually watching a VHS. Your opponent starts over using the feint explained above. Take a quick step forward and attack with your strongest combo in sync with their rhythm. Loud attacks may be fast, but they're certainly not immune to mind games. Yeah, okay, so what they're trying to say here is, yeah, if you're playing against somebody that is doing that, a lot of lights outside your footsie range, that you can punish them by just fucking hitting their sprite, hitting their character, because they're not throwing out big buttons to control any space. They're just doing shit to bait you, so you can just walk up and just smack them. Again, also very relevant to Street Fighter 6. This is, people do this all the time, and if I see somebody that's doing that, I'll just Gladius them and just punch them in the face, or even just drive rush, because they're not really, again, they're not occupying space. They're just clicking jabs to try to bait something. Very relevant to Street Fighter 6. Holy shit, man, the quality just keeps getting worse and worse, huh? How are people recording these, man? This isn't even 144, bro. Bro, a Mostic, that's wild. Okay, I did not see that example, but sure. But anyways, yeah, what they're explaining here, it's still very relevant in Street Fighter 6. Always be on the lookout for changes in your opponent's behavior, especially when they gain access to super meter. They'll start edging back and forth at mid-range. That's a sign they're fishing for something to nail with the super. Remember what Daigo Street Fighter 4? Yeah, okay. Okay, yeah. I mean, this is also very fucking relevant in Street Fighter 6. We see this all the time. People buffering super mid-screen. You think they're just teabagging you, but they're just buffering for their life. I mean, if you see this, and obviously don't fucking fall for the bait. Stick to quick normal moves in the situation. Yep, very relevant. Like, the fundamentals legit haven't changed. It's actually the same. Ooh, I want to see this example though. Okay. Literally just an ultra through fireball. Yeah, relevant. I should be starting to see what the veteran players mean when they say everything has a counter. Footsies is more than technical knowledge. It all hinges on constant analysis of your opponent to determine which tactics to apply to any given moment. Look for patterns. Again, bro, very fucking relevant, right? Like, Footsies is, yeah, it's the knowledge and understanding that everything has a counter. So it's about figuring out the counter and what's the counter to your counter. Yeah, holy shit. 30 years, huh? Still the same. Never get predictable. If you can't read your opponent's intentions for whatever reason, or simply lose track of your opponent's train of thought, do not under any circumstance fall back to your default game plan. Play it safe or do something random, something your opponent has never seen you do before. Otherwise, you'll find yourself walking. Yeah, this is good, man. I completely forgot about this. This is something that I've kind of learned throughout the years. And I will find myself like flustered when I don't have an answer to a certain game plan. This is really good advice. Play it safe or do something random. That's when you start going random, right? Like, I think that's like, going random is a very valid strategy if you are really lost. Like, if you're trying to figure out, you haven't figured out what your opponent's trying to do, and you're gonna go out swinging. You know, you're not just gonna try to, you know, keep doing the same thing over and over again and hope it works. Unless your initial plan was literally going random, then in that case, just, I don't know, dude, just chill, fucking take some Xanax. I don't know what to tell you. Holy shit, I love this. I already know what's gonna happen here. The classic. Bro, Young Daigo was something else. Do you guys remember Young Daigo? God damn, Young Daigo was... There's a reason they call him the Beast, man. Honestly, so far, like, all this shit is relevant to Street Fighter 6. Like, we can see how fundamentals from fighting games from 30 years ago... Like, obviously, there's nuances that have changed, but the overall, like, core concept really hasn't. Kind of crazy, huh? Oh, this goes over corner? Yeah, corner control honestly hasn't changed much. Street Fighter 6, we have the inclusion of perfect parry and DI. Outside of those two mechanics, it's still the fucking same, right? It's the core concept that your opponent can't walk back and you can. You have free mobility. You can exploit that by exploiting your opponent's ranges and essentially just keep them there. And with drive meter, like being able to deplete your opponent's drive meter, it's like corner is way more dangerous than 6. It's way more dangerous than it's ever been, honestly. What would you say is a high rank to achieve in Street Fighter 6 for someone new to fighting games? Bro, I mean, there's several people here that that are in Master and Street Fighter 6 is their first fighting game. I mean, up to you, homie. It's not... Honestly, I wouldn't... Literally anything. I don't know, man. Like, fighting games are hard and everyone learns at their own pace. So if you have zero fighting game experience, bro, like anything could be seen as a win. Fucking plat can be seen as high. Yeah, Daigo whiff punishing with crouching hard punch. Yeah, that was against Arturo. I remember seeing that. I wasn't there live. I know Renzo was there live. I was not. I saw it on stream. That shit. I saw that clip like at least 100 times. Honestly, if you guys haven't read this handbook, I absolutely recommend you do. Like, there's a lot of insight in here where it's still relevant. Like, a lot of this info is still very relevant to Street Fighter 6. All right, let's keep reading these though. Let me see if we find some weird stuff. Whenever you knock someone into the corner, establish a safe position slightly outside of their reach. Absolutely crucial. I can't stress this enough when I'm teaching people like corner control. This is crucial. Like right outside of their reach, man. Because you can walk in and out of that range and they can't. They can only walk forward. As soon as you get the feeling they're about to advance or let their guard down, step forward and poke their toes with a low medium kick. Getting hit by one of these gives a lot of players the urge to retaliate with one of their own. Simply let it whiff, strike. Yeah, 100%. This type of corner control is still very relevant and very fucking powerful. This, I guess, has been the same for 30 years, right? This type of corner control, just, it's the same. I mean, we're just including DI and parry, but honestly, it's the same concept. What example are they giving? Oh my, okay, yeah, these videos just keep getting worse and worse. Bro, these just look like blobs. Is that Balrog in CVS? Oh, Jesus. You're the only streamer I can watch for longer than 5 minutes. I'll take that as a compliment. Appreciate it. Reading hurts my glorious playing brain. Yeah, I feel ya. Don't read too much. Read like one of them and then take a nap and then read another one. You know, I'm sure you can finish through it without too much brain damage. But yeah, no, this 100... Bro, this is like cornerstone of having good... good corner control. Like, this is crucial. It's still very, very, very relevant. It's meant as a compliment. I appreciate it, man. So this right here, yeah, very relevant. That hasn't changed. Shortly after succeeding with a typical tick throw setup, repeat a similar sequence except a step backwards instead of executing a throw. If you catch your opponent's tech attempt whiffing, respond with it. Bro, this guy's actually, you're explaining a shimmy. What we call a shimmy, my dude is actually explaining here. This website was created like fucking 20 years ago, bro. The prehistoric shimmies. These are the fucking medieval time shimmies. The milord shimmies. Jesus. Let me see what the shimmy looked like. Okay. Those were the shimmies, huh? The third strike shimmies. Alright, well, obviously, I don't have to fucking... Like, this is very obvious. I don't have to spell it out. Like, shimmies are obviously very, very, very fucking good in Street Fighter 6. They're the strongest they've ever been because, like, throws have increased recovery, so they're a lot easier to punish on reaction. Yeah, corner shimmy, sure, bro. 100% still relevant. Damn, crazy. The Gutek shimmy. Oh damn, I know you're old because you remember that. Following a basic combo or block string, poke with a light attack from its maximum distance. The corner will ensure your attack doesn't whiff. Okay. On the other hand, if they happen to press the button, yours will usually come out sooner and attack and travels to block. Okay, so block string into a light attack. Yeah, that's still relevant, except not as much in Street Fighter 6 because buttons aren't plus. There's not a lot of plus frames. So if you try to do like a, you know, medium, like if you try to replicate this in Street Fighter 6, since most of your buttons are minus, that light is, yeah, they're probably gonna press a medium and that light's gonna get eaten up. So I guess this is situational. I'm sure there's certain strings where you can do it in Street Fighter 6. It's still relevant, but not as much as other like older fighting games where you had actual plus frames. What's the example? It's the same set. Footsies, yeah, I don't know. I actually didn't see it being shown there, but some people have a habit of jumping. Yeah, I mean, I guess this can be somewhat relevant. There are two approaches to corner offense. Either you can press the advantage and rush them down, armed with the confidence that your pokes aren't going to whiff, or you can hold your ground and counter their attempt to exit the corner, waging a battle of attrition which heavily favors whoever the corner benefits. Yeah, I mean, obviously very relevant. Either you press the advantage and rush them down, aka are you gonna fucking DI, or are you just gonna chill and, you know, poke at their drive gauge? Still very, very relevant. Like, rush them down. This example in Street Fighter 6 would literally just be turn red. Yeah, bro, the quality's definitely going worse and worse. I mean, that wasn't a hard rush down. Like, maybe this is what they mean by rush down. I don't know if that was a good example for the rush down, but Alpha has a guard meter, so same thing like as drive meter in that sense, where you're trying to deplete it by forcing blocks. This is the example of somebody trying to counter somebody's escape attempt. I mean, to be honest, I think this approach of trying to counter their attempt to exit is the better one. It's the more consistent one, because the onus is on them to take gambles. You don't have to. But I think being able to do both is optimal. Like, mixing it up from both. Like, apply pressure, you know, rush them down, like fucking drive rush at them while they're in the corner, take your plus frames, and be able to switch from that to just kind of waiting, like walking up, poking, walking back, like just kind of waiting. That's kind of like changing the tempos. It makes your opponents like very uneasy. They don't really know what to expect, and they're more likely to make a mistake. But you know, not anything major happening because the other player doesn't want to open up the escape route. Yet it's no coincidence that the longer someone stays in the corner, the more often they tend to lose. Damn, bro. If that's not super relevant to Street Fighter 6, then I don't know what is. Actually, facts. The longer you're in the corner, the more likely you are to lose. And escaping the corner is hard because you have to take a gamble. You have to fucking jump. You have to go for the button into drive rush. You have to go for the perfect pair. You have to do something. If you do nothing, you also die. So, like, you have to do something. Dictate where the match will be fought. Easier said than done, but Alex Wolf's unbelievable Evo was the final round of elimination provides an excellent example. Hyper Fighter 2 Dawson. Oh my fucking bro. This is like reading a dinosaur name, you know? Fucking pterodactyl. Catches a few bad breaks at the sun. Once he manages to recover, he simply refuses to play the game at mid-range. Usually Dawson dominates at that distance, but not against CD Bison. Broadway is possible, waiting for one of his mistakes to capitalize on. Okay. Jesus, man. Quality. Back in my day, fighting games took fundamentals. None of this yippee yappy turn green bullshit. Fighting games took skill back in my day. We needed footsies. You needed, you know, whiff punishes. You needed that stuff. Nowadays, this is made for kiddos. Anyone can play. Anyone can win. I can teach a toddler to do this, and then this is what they fucking show you. This is legit what they fucking show you. Fucking footsies, sorry. Footsies? Footsies, brother. Throw loops, yep. Mid-screen throw loops. You fucking love them. Fucking footsies. Yep. Outplayed. Well, fighting games are degen. Fighting games are degen in nature, man. Like, they're just degenerate. That's just the nature of fighting games. If they're not degenerate, then they're probably really fucking boring. From what we've read, all this shit is still very, very relevant, right? Like, this thing has aged like a charm. It's still very relevant. There's still a lot to learn from this thing. Like, this was expertly written, honestly. I wonder do we know who made it? Because it's crazy. how this thing's aged so well. Even, I mean, obviously the example videos have not. Like, that's fucking potato quality. But what they're saying, the overall message and the elements, they're really fucking good. It's almost like Street Fighter is still Street Fighter at its core. Who would have thought, huh? Who would have thought? Look, fighting games evolve. Like, Street Fighter 6 is quite a bit different than the other Street Fighters, right? Quite a bit different than 5. It's quite a bit different than 4. Like, you know, 5 is different than 4. 4 is different than 3. But there's a lot of elements, a lot of situations that are identical. They're the same in each fighting game. It all does come down to that, the neutral aspect, the rock, paper, scissors aspect of neutral. And it's crazy how these tactics haven't changed. They're the same throughout years, bro. For 30 years, we've been foosing it up. 30 years. Footsies, the core concept of Footsies, it hasn't changed. Bro, look at this. This one goes over jumping, close quarters. Oh, bro, this is a great, yeah, this is a great read, honestly. Absolutely recommend you guys give this a go around. I haven't read this in over 10 years, and just the few chapters that we went over, I can tell you that this is still gold. Like, you'll still learn a lot, and you'll still be able to apply a lot of this to Street Fighter 6.